and today to share his experiences with us. It is my proud privilege and honor in requesting the author of the book, Mr. J. Singhania, to kindly do the honors of the meeting.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Before I begin, I'd like to specially thank our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Karan Singh, and our guest of honor, Dr. Naresh Trihan, for joining us today. I'd also like to thank all of you for being present at such a special occasion for Kaushal-ji and me. So my name is Jay Singhania, and I grew up in Delhi and I did my graduation from Boston University. I'd like to start by sharing my journey writing this book. When I began and started discussing with people what I'm doing, the most popular question I got was, "Bhai, tu kis field mein aa gaya hai?" In other words, you're from a privileged Marwari business family. What are you doing writing a book on spirituality? From the surface, they could see a young boy who has it all, but no one could see what was happening in here. Ever since I can remember, I've been very curious. What is this world? Why are we here? What is my purpose? No matter where I looked or who I asked, I never got satisfactory answers. Many people seemed to side with religion, but my mind revolted, as I did not see any causality. Everyone had their own reasoning, and I kept going further from the truth. I never found a purpose and kept looking at others and thought maybe this is how I'm supposed to live, or maybe that is how I'm supposed to live. All this thinking gave me anxiety, and I became very depressed. When I got introduced to the Yoga Sutras, I started understanding that I've been looking in the wrong direction. I've been trying to find all my answers in the physical world, but all the answers are actually within me. No object in this world contains happiness or sadness, but it is completely based in my mind. So the answer is to understand my mind first, and then I will understand my true form. I started to understand that I am not my mind or not my body, and therefore the thoughts I am getting are not me, and that is something I can detach from. When I started practicing meditation the correct way, I started understanding who I am. I am the pure consciousness, also known as the soul or Purush in Yoga Sutras. Everything else in this world is known as Prakriti. Even my body and my mind is Prakriti. And it is the soul which observes Prakriti. We experience the world every day through our five senses. And in every interaction, we classify our experiences as good or bad. When we do this, we make good or bad memories. And on repetition of these experiences, we make these memories stronger and stronger. Desires are made from these memories, which compel us to use the objects that we enjoy, or we run away from objects that we don't. And this is how we form the story of our entire being. We forget that we are the soul, and instead we live a life of chasing our desires. Patanjali calls this state of the mind ignorance. We already have everything that we could need, but we look outward to find happiness. We think that we are the mind and the body, and that whatever we own is ours. But everything that we think is ours is only temporary. Nothing in this world is permanent, only the soul is eternal. In order to understand the mind, it is first important to first exercise our focus. When a mind is restless, it throws hundreds and thousands of thoughts at us. And the soul, being the observer, keeps bouncing between all these different thoughts. So in meditation, we choose an object of concentration, and we focus our attention on that object every single day. Then we can strengthen our focus, and then our mind does not get distracted by any of the mind's activities. Or I would say our soul does not get distracted by any of the mind's activities. When the mind is able to focus on an object for a prolonged period of time, it is known as meditation. So meditation is only a step in the path to liberation. When it is mastered, we are able to identify that we are separate from our thoughts. And when that happens, we are able to question our innermost thoughts and detach from them. Detachment does not mean to forcefully renounce materialism, but it is convincing oneself that all desires ultimately lead to sorrow. Once that happens, the mind automatically does not get attracted to such desires. The Yoga Sutras explains all these concepts and techniques in detail, so one can move ahead in the path of liberation. Even if one does not want to achieve liberation, they can use these techniques to tame their mind so they can achieve whatever they desire. This is the knowledge I've always longed for, and I'm very glad and thankful to have met my Guru Kaushalji. If it weren't for him, I would not have received such practical knowledge about spirituality. Before I met Sir, I used to do a lot of practices, yoga practices and kriyas which I had learned in different ashrams. I had faith that doing these practices will get me somewhere. Maybe they will remove my depression, and who knows, maybe I'll get enlightened. Little did I know that I was the victim of blind faith. I had just put all my eggs in one basket, saying that these kriyas are the answers to my depression. I was doing them blindly without knowing how is it actually helping me. But that wouldn't solve my problems. I was curious to know, how does yoga and meditation actually affect my mind and my brain? Yoga philosophy says that one should be aware all the time and question everything. It is important to have faith but not blind faith. Along with faith, one should also be rational as well. When we have both, we are able to see reality. Only rationality cannot prove reality, and only faith cannot make you reach your destination. Rationality was always a part of me. I never followed any rituals as I did not see any definite cause of the rituals. No matter how much I tried, I never got any answers. The Yoga Sutras gave me all the answers I needed about reality. There's no other text which gives a glimpse into reality in such short words. We do have the Vedas, the Mahabharata and Gitas which give great information and correct information, but they're very long and contain a lot of symbolism. But the Yoga Sutras gives real information and it's to the point. It is first important to understand this knowledge intellectually, and also with practice we must understand it experientially. In our interpretation of the book, we explain all the words as they are meant to be. After reading the book, you will understand what is the mind, the intellect, the ego, the various types of thoughts, and what is enlightenment. The Yoga Sutras also contain some irrational information, such as the superpowers one may get on mastering yoga. Most interpreters take these superpowers as facts and give explanations accordingly. We've also explained the sutras containing the superpowers, but we've questioned everything and added our rational interpretations as well. It's important to not believe everything anyone says, even if it is a great book such as the Yoga Sutras. One must ponder over what is being explained. If it does not seem rational, do not accept it. And if it does, incorporate it in your life. And finally, I'd like to thank my family, especially my parents and my wife, for really supporting me in this journey. I really would not be anywhere without them. Thank you for your time.